Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross England here, Clear Lake Guide Service with your, we'll call it the report for Thanksgiving 2023. I believe that's going to be like November 24th, 2023. I missed you this last Thursday. Apologize for that, but I had not been out since the previous Friday. And as I've said before, I really don't like giving old information out here. So if I don't get out on the water and actually have something that I can see to report, then no report. And, you know, during the next couple of months, who knows how active I'll be, or we've got a lot of things going on. So we'll see how the reporting goes through this winter. A lot of it's going to depend on the fishing. And if the fishing is pretty decent, then you'll probably get a lot of reports. So, okay. Let's start out with, believe it or not, if you can see in the background, this is the day after a big storm that came through. And I honestly thought, today is Sunday, I honestly thought that what would happen would be I'd come out here and get blown off the water in about 2 hours, you know, with some real nice post-front conditions. And much to my surprise, it started out that way about 10:30 and looked like it was going to do that. And then about noon, started calming down pretty well. And I'll tell you what, right now, I'm glad I came out today, even though I, you know, had a short day. So we did get some pretty good rain since the last report. I know that when I looked at the Weather Underground page for last night, it said we had almost 0.6 of an inch of rain, which was good. I mean, you know, I'll take a ½ inch here, ½ inch there. That's better than nothing for months. So, I think things are going to be, I think we're headed towards a full lake this year based on the weather. It's way early in the year to be predicting, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So, anyway, it really didn't have much of an effect on the lake level. I looked this morning, and lake level last week was like plus 2.1. And as of this morning, it's plus 2.18. And that's kind of trying to factor out the little ups and downs of the graph based on wind. So just looking at kind of a longer term look at it, not much. We'll say a trickle came in, but overall, not a significant change in lake level. Water temperature, I launched at the state park this morning, and it was 55.5 degrees in the state park canal there, where the launch ramp is. As I got out, immediately as I got out onto the lake, it bumped up to 57. And, you know, just because of the weather, you know, the wind and whatnot this morning, I didn't really run all over the place today. I really just kind of stayed in the central part of the lake, part of the Narrows, Henderson, Soda Bay, Horseshoe, that stuff, a little bit over on Highway 20. And, you know, what I saw as soon as I got out of the canal there is it bumped up to 57.5, about a 2-degree difference. And I think the warmest that I saw today was 58.5, 58.7, something like that. So definitely, I'm anticipating that the days of seeing 60 degrees are gone for the winter. Water clarity, you know, the little bit that I ran around was pretty much skewed by a bunch of wind, waves, and nonsense. Where I'm sitting here right now, which I'm just out off of Henderson, the water actually looks fairly decent. There's a little, you know, that real thin, patchy algae that's floating on the surface. There's a little bit of that here. But other than that, the water looks good, and I'm going to say that it's probably, I can see my prop, so you know, it's probably a good almost foot and a half. Over on Highway 20 that was getting hit a little bit more by the wind. It had a different color. It was a little bit browner, and I could only see about 6 inches over there. Henderson, same thing as where I'm sitting right now. So the limited amount that I got around today, I'm going to say the water clarity is still pretty good. Now, probably, you know, we had some pretty good east winds the last couple days. North Lakeport, perhaps Nice, part of Lucerne, they may not be quite so pretty looking. Then you get down below the Narrows, and the wind doesn't really affect water clarity down that way that much. So, but you know, overall, I'm going to say water clarity that I have seen, pretty good. Let's see. Temperature level, yeah. So that's about it. Upcoming activities, just whatever you folks do for Thanksgiving weekend. There's nothing that I can see scheduled as far as tournaments are concerned. We won't see another, I don't think there's a permit pulled until early December. I think ABA's got one pulled for that time frame. So it looks like there's going to be some really good weather through the end of this week. I wouldn't say unseasonably warm, but we'll say that pretty nice winter, especially in parts of the country that people are putting their boats away for the winter. There's going to be a lot of pretty nice days out here. So we did get out, and I fished a little bit today. I took Debbie out last Sunday, took 18 minnows out, and we fished for about 3 hours, just trading off one minnow at a time. And we caught 10 fish, 6 catfish up to, I think it was 15 pounds, and 4 bass up to 4 3/4 pounds. So it was fun. You know, I like getting Debbie out every once in a while to be able to fish a minnow, and she was a little disappointed in me because the first 3 fish she caught were all catfish, and that's a pretty hard fight for on spinning equipment. So she couldn't figure out how come I caught the first cast, I caught a catfish, and then the rest of the cast I caught bass, which are way easier to reel in. So I'd take my turn with the minnow, catch a bass, reel it in, flop it back, and give it back to her. She wasn't exactly ready to go out for another fight with a catfish again. But anyway, I think it's relatively safe to say that down in some of the deeper water, most of our fish were probably 12 to 18 feet, 12 to 20 feet. I think if you get down to some of the deeper water, some of the deeper docks, if the weather's calm enough to allow you to do that, I think you can have some pretty good fun with live minnows. I would just go down through the Narrows and just start looking for docks that have, you know, 12 to 18 feet on them. And we didn't necessarily catch the fish on the docks. About half of them were in between the docks. But nonetheless, if you're up here trying to enjoy a Thanksgiving weekend, a holiday weekend, you're trying to get some kids out, or you're just trying to get the family out to get on some fish, and you really don't care what kind of fish they are, that minnow bite going on some of those deeper docks, you'll get bit. We were just drop shotting them, wasn't doing anything fancy with it at all. Just drop shotting on a smaller size circle hook. I know I'm going to get asked about it, but honestly, I have not seen anybody fishing for crappie. It could be happening, but if it was happening to any extent, you'd see piles of boats sitting around, and I just don't see that. So crappie bite may start at some point, but the crappie bite that we all have gotten used to with, you know, tons and tons of fish. Ain't happening yet. At least not that I can see. So, you know, that's going to be our report. So, very well could be closing out November this way. Thanks for watching. We're closing in on being close to the, you know, the end of another year. I'll be happy to have made it. Glad for all of you that joined during the course of this year. Look forward to trying to do the same thing and accomplish as much next year. We've got some pretty exciting plans for ourselves as far as fishing and, you know, destination fishing. So there's going to be some breaks, but we'll always try to do our best to bring you a report that's current and accurate. May not have all the details with go throw this here, but that's not what we're into. We're just trying to give you an idea of, if you're thinking about traveling, what you're getting into. So happy Thanksgiving. Behave yourselves. Be safe on the roads, because we want to see you the next report.